Mic checker, microphone wrecker. Everyday Superpower signing in. A potential sign of attraction. This one goes out to all you lovers out there, yeah? All you hopeless romantics. Trying to find the people who are into you, essentially. This is, I would assume this is unisex. It definitely works on a woman to male basis, although I think men tend to be a little more obvious and blatant through other means of showcasing their attraction. So, we're talking about the eyes once again today, right? We're going to talk about what I would consider flashbulb eyes. Here today, gone tomorrow, a very slight micro gesture. One of surprise. But there is a slight degree of joyfulness within the display. So, this has been influenced by my day to day and something I have observed today. You engage with somebody. Now, this has to be essentially, we'll talk about when it can rear its head further into communication and conversation, but essentially, you're going to see this primarily, and we're going to initially talk on when you first engage in conversation, that initial communication. This is where it's going to appear the most, right? So you see somebody and they see you, and then this reaction happens. Or you are waiting in line, you're at the bank, and there's a cute cashier on the till who's going to help you out with your financial woes and struggles. And then, and if you're a rich person, you're probably more prone to receiving this. To be honest with you, so you're waiting in line, you're waiting in queue. It's your turn. You walk up forward. You look them dead in the eye. Boom. You see this behavior, flashbulb eyes. So what happens is the eyelid opens, the pupils connect eye to eye. This isn't a shutting off of the eye. This isn't an eye blocking behavior as to where a squint is initiated or any closure of the eye. This isn't an extended blink or anything like that. This is the complete contrary. The eyes open momentarily. Wow. You know where I'm coming from? Wow. What have I got before me? I need to reveal this. And we as humans have whites of the eyes, which our primitive ancestors don't. So it's a very human showcase and notification to the other party. I am looking at you. It's a signal of attraction in that extent where it's saying, I am looking at you. Because the pupil looks dead on, the whites of the eyes enlarge to highlight the pupil looking towards you. Flashbulb eyes, and then the eye returns to normal. Now, you, as a body language enthusiast and a Casanova of sorts, have to make sense out of the large picture, the cluster you see before you, the rest of the face, and, have you shocked them in a negative way? Have you got a knife in your hand, Is that why they've been provoked with such a startled response? Or is it because you look good and they think, wow? Okay? So that's what you need to pay attention to, right? I have found that from there, within the next 5 seconds, 10 seconds, you will realize why that initial body language word took place. So if we're to look at body language as in writing of a sentence and the clusters as a whole you need to pay attention to, each and every word could mean so many different things. Here in England, in the English language, We have words that could mean a whole variety of different meanings and things. So standalone, it's quite vague. Whereas when you use that word correctly in a sentence, then you can make sense out of it. So you see that initial behavior, you make sense, and you consciously pay notice that you have just acknowledged that. And as we've spoken of in the past, micro gestures and what is slight and minute tend to be the most honest form of nonverbal communication. You say what you have to say. Oh, I was just wondering if I could check out my bank balance. So I was just wondering if I would be able to put this cash in the bank. And then you engage. You get large, genuine smiles in response. You get a submissive nod of the head, exposure of the neck, the wrists. You tell me what you receive in response over the next 10, 15, 20, 25 seconds of engagement. You know? But the highlight and what to consider here is that the individual in question hasn't squinted the eyes, hasn't concealed or blocked their view of you. Whereas if you were, quite distasteful to their, you know, if you were somebody they wanted to block out, you would see that. Whereas you, through some means, are somebody they want to see more of. So the eyes have widened up very momentarily. This is less than a second, keep in mind. But it happens. And your intuition will tell you that you have noticed it. It won't go under the radar as to where you don't acknowledge it. If you've seen it and you know it, you know it. Alright? So that's to pay attention to. That's something I've experienced today and thought I'd do a little video on. I have gone into depth in regards to this behaviour. Feel free to just look at the catalogue of works I've got on this YouTube channel and you'll be able to find it. I've playlists in regards to content on the eyes. So there's a wealth of information there for you to clue yourself up. It's very important to understand the eyes as well as everywhere else. I think the eyes are some of the most, really give off the most important signals when it comes to attraction, as you can analyze and acknowledge the dilation and constriction of the pupil, the eye blocking behaviors. When it comes to neuro-linguistic programming as well, a alternate field of study, there's reference in regards to eye accessing cues as to where, when in thought, the eye will look in a particular direction, referencing a certain recall of memory, whether it be visual, audio memories, feelings, and so on and so forth. So that's an interesting field. That's something I've not covered on this channel, purely as I am quite generalized in it personally. It's not something I've gone into an incredible amount of depth within, but if you were cold reading and stuff like that, it'd be a pretty good field to look into. But yeah, that was a brief one from me. Eye flashing cues, light bulb eyes, the minute wow expression. I'm signing out.